Conrad K Sangma ula ai marshilak tingka shaki prangut nongthoh khubor la rangbah basha pun ke buram ha ka media meet ka baningkong kebala penlong da ka Directorate of Information and Public Relations ka Sorkar Jylla hata chibivanta Shillong ha ka arpau tarik nailur kani ka song pisa kabala ai Conrad ka deling ba ka CMSG Fund ki nongthoh khubor ke basha pun ke buram gidei pi marwen editor youth today Subroto Bhata Charji Bureau Chief UNI, RM Shabong Editor Rupang, MM Thayang Editor YouTube, Manas Chaudhary former Editor The Shillong Times, Sana Chakraborty Independent Journalist, Linda Chakchwak Independent Journalist, but Sanjeev Bhata Charji Photographer The Shillong Times. Ka phang padeng jong ka ka media meet ne ka jingalang jong ki nongthoh khubor ka ka redefining journalism in the digital age. Menteri Rangbah Conrad K Sangma ulalong kum ukongsan haka jingalang pli yakani kamit, but ka Menteri Katarat Information and Public Relations Dr. Mazel Amprin Lingdo kelalong kum kesimbut kongsan. Ladon ringkat ru Commissioner and Secretary Information and Public Relations Vijay Mantri, but Director Information and Public Relations Malthus Sangma. Ha ka jingkran sedang jong Menteri Rangbah Conrad K Sangma ulaong badangran kam shibun ban itu ya ki jingno senyang jong ki nongthoh khubor bat ula benram kani kadika por bangi kum ka sorkar ngis ngodon kam ban penlong ya kum kini ke program ban itu bat pun ko puram ya ka jingtri shitom jong ki nongthoh khubor ban ya kendu bat ya keren halor kelenti banyat shaprang ha ka jingmento jong ka kendun ki nongthoh khubor ban pentikna bakani ka kam kan kiu kan roy da ka babut ya ki kendon bat menteri kat kum ka jingyat ka por bat ka teknologi. Ka Menteri Katarat Information and Public Relations ka Dr. Amprin Lingdo kalaong. Ka kenhun ki nongthoh khubor ki phasha ka sorkar na ka benta shibun ki jingdon kam bat ngis dang menta banyarap ya ki nongthoh khubor bat ban pet ikilat ki lenti ban pen bha ya ka jing em bat ki jing trei jong ki nongthoh khubor bat ban ithu ya ka jing trei shitom jong ki nongthoh khubor. Kala penpau ya kajing sngok men bakawai na ki phang jong ka panel discussion kalong halor kajing penyat ya ki khubor thong bat kilat jing tep bat kala ong ka kermen bak jing elang menta kin ya keren halor kilat klenti babhatam ban pen bet ya kan jing ka ba ha kini ki por ba menta ki jing ta jong ka social media bat ki jing
on reforms, on recognition and ways in which we could improve the overall media sector, I should say. We realize that the government, and I don't mean to judge any government, but the government in general has not done enough to recognize the contributions that have been made by our journalists, whether senior or the current fraternity of our young journalists. And that is where we felt the need to have, number one, programs like these, where we felicitate our journalists. We recognize the contributions and the work that they have done, the sacrifices they've made, the challenges they've overcome. And while we do that, we also interact and connect with our fraternity of journalists to be able to then figure out how we can move forward in the larger interest of the media fraternity and the media sector, and to ensure that the entire sector thrives, follows a certain code, is able to improve itself in terms of the given circumstances, in the technological changes that we are seeing. So all of this thought has actually brought us to this point where we felt that we need to have this kind of media meets on a regular basis. We all agree that we disagree. So that's fine. That's how healthy democracy works. And disagreeing with somebody's viewpoint or with somebody's work or somebody's policy is not anything wrong. And I'm sure most of the journalists who have interacted with me or are in touch with me personally, you will realize that for me, every criticism is a positive criticism. This is what I believe. And in fact, whenever I see a news article in any paper, it actually motivates me to resolve that particular problem. So really, you are giving me an opportunity to see the other side of the story. And that's how I take it. And I'm very clear about this, even after 7 years of being the Chief Minister, that every single article and information that is brought in is something that is of a constructive nature, and positives can come out of it, and it is how we look at it and how we deal with it is what is important. And hence, I do want to make it clear that there is no negativity when it comes to at least the way I see things. Of course, there will be, as I said, differences. It's natural, because it is the duty of the media, the press, and everybody, in the press fraternity, to look at aspects which are important from the public interest point of view and facts that need to come out. Apart from what you just said, what is very crucial is, as I said, the recognition part, which I've already dealt on. But I just want to also add to this, which I've just shared with our Commissioner Secretary also, that of course the felicitation was given by the department. I thank the Honourable Minister for taking the lead in it. But I also would like to give a small contribution from the Chief Minister's office. So I would like to announce that every single senior journalist who has been felicitated today from my Chief Minister's special grant, I will be giving an amount of 1 lakh rupees to each of the senior journalists who are felicitated today from the Chief Minister's special grant. Apart from that, as I said, what is the larger goal? I think it's important for us to see that. And really the larger goal is to see how we are able to improve things, how we're able to adapt to the given circumstances, how we're able to grow, how we're able to train. A lot of people think that journalism is very simple, and we just have to be able to write something. But it's beyond that. There's so much of training that goes into these aspects. I would be happy to see and be able to push, and promote and support different exposures and trainings for our media persons. I think it's important for you to interact with journalists from other parts of the country, maybe even other parts of the world, and really see how everything is moving in the media sector. Because as I said, because of the change in technology, things are moving very, very fast. And therefore, technology is impacting every aspect of our lives, even at a personal level, obviously. So media and the way we consume information is also changing very, very fast. So hence, I think it's very important to have continuous training, continuous exposure and updation of different aspects of journalism, I think, to our press friends. So I would urge the Shillong Press Club as well as our other organizations, you should take the lead. DIPR can take the lead. Even have a simple program for example, even how to shoot. Today we all shoot with the mobile, but we just do it the way we think is right. But how do we do it in a professional way? I think it's important to be able to have the right tools, maybe the right apps, and even the right way to shoot. So I think these are small things, but I feel that this meet should discuss on these aspects also, and I hope that we'll have more and more of training and exposure for our journalists and our press fraternity at large.
Recognizing media persons who have contributed immensely to the field of media should be the first of the things that we do. Because very often when we look around us, the kind of media coverages, the kind of media persons that we see around us must know what media persons of the past were, who were they, what was the quality of their work, and what are the contributions that they have made to the community at large. I know that today we will be discussing a lot of programs, and in the presence of the Honorable Chief Minister, on behalf of the Department of IPR, sir, we want to thank you for having made this possible. We start today, sir, and we handhold the media fraternity into looking at what are the kind of things that we likely can do as a government in recognition of the good coverage, the work, the contributions that they engage in. I must thank Mr. Vijay Kumar, who after his coming has made several changes in going about and planning how can we help media personnel in the state of Meghalaya. I must thank Mr. M.S. Nongthoh Sangma, the Director of Information and Public Relations, for his kind presence and also for his willingness to sit and brainstorm as to what are the things that we can likely do to better lives of journalists in this day and age. Today, we are very grateful to all the panelists who will be here to guide the various discussions that are slated. Amongst some of these discussions is the most important of discussions, and that is how do we handle fake news and information. Government is torn between the fundamental right and the principle and rights and responsibilities of citizens when they have to talk or utilize their fairness in serving information or giving opinions on certain matters. I hope that today, when you do discuss this particular topic, you will lend valuable lessons to the government so that we may know what would be the best way of addressing this problem in this day and age.